Shanti. Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me? Yes.
Yeah.
My name is My Angel. On behalf of the Brahma Kumaris of Vancouver, I welcome all of you to this evening of celebration of Raksha Bandhan festival. At this program, we have a very important guest speaker, Sister Bhavana Shukla from New Zealand, a senior member of Brahma Kumaris. It's not on.
Sorry, to double check. Thanks.
At this program, we have a guest speaker, Sister Bhavana Shukla from New Zealand, who is a senior member of Brahma Kumaris, and two music performers, Anna Pensacola, and an intuitive and creative piano player, and Ishi Patel, an imaginative songwriter and soulful singer. To begin the program, I would like to invite Ishi to the stage. Ishi is a Vancouverite, and her passion is songwriting and singing, and she has made music as a career, which is a dream come true for her. And the title of the song she's going to sing is a spiritual song called The Dance.
Just gonna take this off here. Hi guys. Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here. Very nervous as well. I'm praying that God will be with me today while I sing. I've had a little bit of topsy-turvies in the morning. But I hope you enjoy it. It's something that I wrote for the occasion today. And I hope you enjoy it. So just gonna get my music ready. Beautiful weather today. It's very hot. Dance. try a little, we will fly. We all just want the truth. All we gotta do is just ask. All we gotta do is just love. If we try a little, we will fly. 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 Thank you. I lost my voice today, actually. I lost my voice today, and I was asking for courage, so it was a little shaky, but I'm so thankful to be in your presence, so thank you for allowing me to sing today. And enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you very much, Ishi, not Ishi. It was really beautiful, yes. We will love a little and we fly a lot and lot. And now I would like to introduce to you a special guest, Sister Bhavana Shukla. As I said, who has come all the way from New Zealand, from our New Zealand center. And she is the director, has been the director of the Brahma Kumaris Raja Yoga Center in New Zealand since 1982. In that time, she has established many centers and sub-centers in major cities of New Zealand and Fiji. When she was only 14 years old and was still schooling, she got introduced to the Raja Yoga teachings of Brahma Kumaris through her parents, who were also members of this organization. And the knowledge that is taught by this organization is essentially to encourage spiritual awareness, attitudes and skills for daily living through self-reflection and a simple form of Raja Yoga meditation. And this is what she teaches and has been doing it for 42 years. A postgraduate of Gujarat University in comparative religions, and also her research papers, or the published research papers, were in fulfillment of her PhD requirements. Subsequently, instead of following or taking up an academic career, she accepted a full-time position teaching and sustaining the Brahma Kumari Spiritual Center to this day. Sister Bhavana is a naturalized citizen of New Zealand and has always been concerned about the betterment of New Zealand's society. She conducts meditation courses, positive living courses, self-development workshops in multicultural settings for European, Maori, Indian, Fijian, Sri Lankan, and Malaysian audiences. And for her service to the community, she was made a Justice of Peace in 1997, and in October 2001 was presented a Civic Honor Award by the city mayor for services to youth activities, social welfare, and cultural affairs. Sister Bhavana is also active in outreach service and regularly broadcasts over radio in India, Australia, New Zealand, and featured internationally too. She represents the Brahma Kumaris and has toured widely in Australia, Asia, Africa, America, North, South and East, Canada, Caribbean, Europe, United Kingdom, and the Middle East. She's also a regular participant in conferences, dialogues, seminars and workshops at the Brahma Kumaris headquarters, Mount Abu, Rajasthan, India. And so I'd like to invite Sister Bhavana. Please come to the stage. The topics that she's going to talk about is union of hearts, our hearts and God's heart.
Om Shanti. Means greetings of peace. So this evening we are here to celebrate very, very special festival of India, which we call Raksha Bandhan. Raksha means protection. Bandhan means bond. Bond of protection. We all are living in such a world where everybody nowadays need protection. Doesn't matter whichever age group you are, whichever field you are working, everyone needs protection. Sometimes problems, situations, they do arise in front of us. At that time, our family members, friends, they can help us, but they can help us limitedly. Supreme God, who is called Almighty Authority, He can help us constantly. So in the world, whenever people celebrate this festival, few little stories are written in our Indian mythology. One story says that one day what happened, there was a big battle was taking place between deities and devils, deities, goodies and baddies one. So during that battle, the head of the deity was Indra. Somehow he became defeated in that battle. And when he became defeated, naturally he became little upset. Yeah? His wife, Indrani, couldn't tolerate the pain, sorrow of Indra. So what she did, she prepared beautiful Rakhi bracelet in God's remembrance. And then she tied that Rakhi to Indra. And he inculcated the power from God within himself. And again he went to the battle. And this time he became victorious. Another story also says that once Abhimanyu, he was a son of Arjuna. When he was going to go to battlefield, his grandmother Kunti tied him Rakhi. So at least he can be protected. So some stories are written like that. So Raksha Bandhan is the festival of protection. In the world, whenever they celebrate, sisters first apply tilak on the forehead, then they tie little bracelet, then they distribute sweet, and that's the way they celebrate in the world this festival. Yeah, but you can see the great spiritual significance is there behind doing all this thing, like applying tilak. Tilak, which is symbolic thing of the awareness of that spiritual being. Whatever we are seeing, body is only a vehicle, but the user of this vehicle is separate from this vehicle. Like you can see, driver sits in the car, but still driver is separate from the car. Similar way, that spiritual being is sitting here in our forehead, but still is separate from this vehicle. So I need to have that awareness. And once I have that awareness, then while applying tilak, I see anybody, I see as a soul, as a spiritual being. And all souls have only one relationship, which is brothers. So that's the way I can able to create real brotherhood, love, peace and harmony amongst ourselves. That's what we apply here. And this is the actually place of the third eye. And third eye is also symbolic thing. It's the eye of knowledge, eye of wisdom, eye of understanding, which is we call third eye. Second thing, during Raksha Bandhan time, we tie little bracelet, which we call Rakhi. Yes, so one time that Rakhi, I need to have that awareness and I need to develop that faith on God. If any situation comes, problems come, God can protect me. Like earlier I said, our friends, rallies, they can help us little while. But only God can give us the constant protection. When do I receive constant protection? When I have unbroken faith on God. If little bit doubts are there, then doubts becomes like a barrier. I will not receive that help. That's why in Mahabharata, one of the very popular scriptures of India says that those who have intellect in the faith, they always become victorious. And those who have doubts in their intellect, they destroy. Yeah? So while tying Rakhi, I need to develop that kind of unshakable faith on God. And I'm sure all of you had wonderful experiences even in your life. Whenever you needed protection or help, you would have received that kind of help from God. I'd like to share one little example of my life. Just a couple of years back, I was touring to one of the islands. I was going to go from New Zealand to Great Barrier Island. It was a 1-hour flight. And somebody dropped me to the airport and plane took off right time. And we were in the air about 20 minutes. And suddenly, plane started shaking. Yeah? Those passengers who were sitting in the plane became little scared, afraid. Yeah? And then slowly pilot announced that something is wrong in the engine. That's why plane is like that. And it was a smaller aircraft, about 25 passengers were there. Yeah? But as soon as they heard something is wrong in engine, you can imagine, yeah, people started panicking. The one lady was sitting next to me. She was from Christian faith. And she said, as soon as I heard the news, something is wrong in engine, my blood pressure went very high. What should I do? And then I said to her, look, we are 25,000 feet up from the ground in the air. And none of your friends or family members come to help us. Only one person can help. It's the God. Yeah? So she was from Christian faith. So I said, just have faith on Jesus Christ. And try to remember some good incident of your life rather than doubting and asking too many questions to yourself or becoming upset. And then she started doing like that. And I explained to myself, I had a little chat with God. I say, okay God, if you want me up there, I am quite okay. If you want to send me down below, I will not argue. Whatever you want to do, I will be quite happy. But I explain myself that I am not going to have any negative thoughts in my mind. I will sit in meditation and try to send good vibes to this pilot. Yeah, because everyone's life was now in his hand. Yeah, so at least God can touch his intellect and he can do the right thing. Yeah, and then he announced and said, now I cannot take this aircraft to our destination. I have to divert the aircraft. Yeah, and then he was looking the closest airport, and closest airport was away, 15 minutes away. And I really tell you that 15 minutes it felt so long. Don't even ask. Because when you are happy, time passes very fast. Yeah, when you're passing through this kind of situation, takes very, very long time. But anyway, he diverted aircraft very easily. And then he told everybody down below that we have this problem. So we could see from the aircraft that this engine, firewala and all this ambulance, and they all were down below there. But landing part was quite difficult. Yeah, he slowly brought down the aircraft. And then we were about 10 feet up from the ground. It wasn't smooth landing, but after 10 feet he couldn't control, so he dropped the whole aircraft. And whoever was sitting in the plane, some people have little problem. I was perfectly all right, but some people have little head hit with the roof and just few little things. So they went to the hospital. So what I mean, that sometimes this kind of situation arises in front of us. Who can help us? Yeah, only God can help us. So while tying Rakhi, I need to develop that kind of unbroken faith. Then any problems comes, He can protect me. He can look after me and help me. And when I have faith on God, I can able to develop very beautiful quality within myself. That is a courage. That's why in the world very popular saying is there that courageous people always receive help from God. Yeah, and that's why God also says you only have to take the one step of courage forward. God will take 10 steps. Yeah, but first I have to show courage. But some people are there in the world. They also think, why should I do something? Let God to help me, then I do something. But no, God only helps those who help themselves. Yeah, if I have courage of helping myself, definitely I will receive help from God. Yes, so while tying Rakhi, first aspect of the faith is on God. Second aspect is I need to have faith within myself. Because some people they say that no problem, I have full faith on God, but somehow I don't have faith within myself. It's very important aspect is there, because if you have faith within yourself, then you can develop very beautiful quality, that is a self-confidence. And any task you perform with that self-confidence, you become successful. Lack of self-confidence, inside the feeling of fear is there. Like I have seen when students, they don't do study during examination time. Yeah, how inside they are very fearful. And when they sit in examination hall and when they receive the question paper, because of that fear, they forget whatever they have studied. So it's very important thing to have faith within the self. Then I develop that self-confidence. And while tying Rakhi, I need to develop faith on others also. Because if I have faith on people, then I can receive their cooperation. If I have doubts, then I won't be able to receive their cooperation. Because we know each and individual person is very, very special. Everyone has some goodness, beautiful qualities. So I have to appreciate their goodness, their good qualities. Then I can able to perform what. One day what happened, even in our hands you see, 5 fingers are there. Yeah, they all are different in size and shapes. Yeah, but when they all work together, then you perform the wonder. And one day what happened, amongst these 5 fingers, there was a very big discussion, debate. Which finger is the highest one? And all have the reason for that. Yeah, the first finger said, I am number 1. Why? Because in path of devotion, you always point out this finger and you say, remember the one who lives up above. So this finger has so much intoxication that I remind everyone God. That's why I am number one. Yeah? And then this second finger say, I am number one. Because amongst this 5, this is the tallest one. So I'm already number one. And then this third finger came, said, I am number one. Because I have seen especially when Hindu people, when they do their devotion, when they worship the idols' images, they always use this finger to put the tilak, dot. So this is our worshipping fingers, and also ring finger. So that's why I'm number one. And then this little finger said, no, I am number one. I look so small, but I am number one. Because there is another little story is written in Hindu mythology. Says that one day what happened, the reign of God, Indra, he became upset. Generally God doesn't become upset. This is a story. So what happened? There was a terrible rain was there. Very heavy rainfall was there. Yeah, because of heavy rainfall, everywhere was flood. Yeah, so many people and cattle, everyone were drawn into that flood. And then people put courage together and they went in front of Lord Krishna. And then they said to Lord Krishna, please protect us, help us. And Lord Krishna said, yes, I am happy to help you. But all of you have to give me your last finger of cooperation. And everybody gave little cooperation. And they could able to lift the huge Govardhan mountain. And underneath the mountain, they all got protected. So this little finger has that intoxication that I have given cooperation to Lord Krishna. That's why I am number one. And now this thumb again. Thumb said, I am number one. Because early days, people were not that educated. They didn't know how to sign. So on name of signature, they used to put the thumb. Even today, some of the villages, some of the places you go, they use thumb as a name of as a signature. So now you can see all 5 fingers have the reason. And there was a one judge. He was quite intelligent. He had to decide which finger is number one. So what he did, he put the one fruit bowl on the table and then he asked individual finger, go and try to lift this fruit bowl. And none of the finger could even move the fruit bowl. Then he said, okay, now try it together. Yeah, and then they were able to lift fruit bowl very easily. Yeah, so what I mean, that when I am dealing with many people, personality, different souls have different sanskaras. Yeah, just see their goodness, their speciality. Yeah, and when I appreciate their speciality, then it becomes easy to work with them, easy to receive their cooperation. Yeah, so while tying Rakhi, first I need to develop faith on God, faith within myself, and have to have faith on others. That's why we tie Rakhi. Now during Raksha Bandhan time, we also share little sweet. Yeah, so while eating sweet, I have to become sweet. Yeah, there is no effort in eating sweet. A lot of effort to become sweet, because sometimes we do speak little bitter words, harsh words. No one likes those kind of words. Those kind of words really hurt the heart of the people. And when people are keep hurting the others and keep hurting the self, what happens? Heart becomes into too many pieces. Yeah, means inside they experience so much sorrow. Yes, so while eating sweet, I need to remind myself that I have to give happiness to everyone. Remember the philosophy of karma. Yeah, as you sow, so you reap. If I give someone happiness, I receive happiness. If I give someone sorrow, I become unhappy. Yeah, this is a philosophy of karma which will help me to transform my life. That's why sweet or mithai is symbolic thing of speaking sweet words. God says we should speak such words, so at least our words can give peace to peaceless people, give happiness to unhappy souls, and creates that hope and enthusiasm into a hopeless souls. And during Raksha Bandhan time, we also share little blessing with everyone. Blessing are like a very powerful words from God. Whenever you feel in your life little bit down or not happy, at that time you read those powerful positive thoughts which gives you lot of happiness. Because in such a world we are living where negative environment is there, people are a bit critical, negative, so we also become negative towards ourselves. But blessings reminds me that you do have some goodness in your life. And that's why we share this little blessing. So good to keep this blessing very, very handy. Yeah, so whenever I need, is there. Because sometimes some nice thing when we get, we put it away so nicely. When I need, I can't find out. Yeah? And generally I have seen whoever needs, whichever blessings, whichever time, they get accurate blessing. Doesn't matter, whoever receive is an accurate blessing. I share you one little example. One day I was doing this Rakhi program somewhere in one of the country, and they had program like that, public program in the whole. And there was one lady came in this program, and she had this guide dog with her because she couldn't see. So dog was with her, and when I was sitting there, she sat down in front of me, and the dog was sitting next to her. Well-behaved dog was there, didn't make any noise. We had whole program. After program, I was tying Rakhi to everyone, and towards the end of the program, she came in front of me, and then she said, "Sister, can my dog have Rakhi?" And I was thinking, my God, in my whole life, I haven't tied Rakhi to human beings. But I didn't say anything to her. I said, okay, if it will make you happy, I don't mind. I will tie Rakhi to your dog, because for her, her dog was everything. Yeah. So, you know, the dog was so big, and Rakhis generally are that long. Yeah. So one Rakhi not enough for the dog. So I had to put 3-4 Rakhis together, made that big, and then I tied around the neck, and then I thought that I have done my job, you know. But after 5-10 minutes, she came back, and she said, "Sister, can my dog have blessing?" And I said, "Of course." Yes, your dog can have blessing, you know. But I was inside so much curious, because up till now I have been sharing blessings with the human beings, of course. Yeah. And I was wondering what kind of blessing this dog will get. Yeah, so some blessings were sitting next to me. So I picked up one blessing. Yeah, but before giving to her, because of that curiosity, yeah, I wanted to read what kind of blessing this dog get. And then I read the blessing. It was so perfect and accurate. In that blessing said that you have very good ability to see the things clearly. And that was her guide dog. So since that incident, I have full faith on blessings. Whoever will get, they get the right blessing, the right time. Doesn't matter if human beings or whoever is there. makes us realize my positivity, my goodness. That's why we share little blessing during Raksha Bandhan time. And one more thing we also do during Raksha Bandhan time, like what happens if any negativity is there inside, any defect is there, we make determined thought with God to say goodbye to that negativity. Because on special day when you make special thought, God always helps us. Yeah? So that's the way we celebrate very, very unique way this Raksha Bandhan festival. Yeah? While tying Rakhi, I need to remind myself all these different things. Tilak, which creates the feelings of love and brotherhood amongst ourselves. Tying Rakhi is I need to develop unbroken faith on God. Yeah? Sweet reminds me becoming sweet. Yeah? And blessing makes me very, very calm. So when I celebrate this unique way, this Raksha Bandhana, then really God, who is called the comforter of the heart, Dilaram, Dilwala, who takes our heart, He will heal my heart. Because what happens when our heart becomes deceived by many people and different things, heart breaks into too many pieces. Yeah? And when I connect my heart with this Dilwala God, Dilaram God, He heals my heart. And broken heart becomes a complete one full heart. And once I learn this art of healing my heart, I can able to heal the heart of many, many people. Yeah, so that's why this Raksha Bandhan festival is a very, very unique festival. It's not like nowadays it has become very, very commercial, but it's very spiritual festival. Early days, I remember whenever sisters would tie this little bracelet, they used to make with their hand with lot of love, lot of good feelings. But nowadays our sisters are so busy, they don't have time to make. So they go to town and buy most expensive Rakhi. But those feelings aren't there. Yeah? So we don't buy those Rakhis. Yeah? We receive all these lovely Rakhis from our international breadwinner, our chief Dadiji, whom we call senior sister, elder sister. She sends all this Rakhi with lot of love and good feelings. And actually, those beautiful vibrations protect the soul. Rakhi is made with ordinary thread. Ordinary thread doesn't protect anyone. Yeah, but whichever consciousness you come and whichever beautiful vibration, yeah, you tie the Rakhi, those lovely feelings actually help the people, protect the people. Yeah, so this evening all of you are here. So everybody will get 4 things. Yeah, Tilak, Rakhi, sweet, and blessing. Yeah, so 4 things you receive. And you only have to do one simple thing, which is not compulsory. If you feel from your heart, yeah, you can make one nice, lovely, determined thought with God. And just see, because sometimes some of the defects gives us hard time. Yeah, good to say goodbye. Then my life becomes good. Yeah, whichever defect you give to God, in return, try to think one positive quality. Yeah, when I invite that positive quality, then I can easily say goodbye to that defect. Let me give you example. Like some people have terrible temper. Now, what is a positive quality of anger? Love, peace, power of tolerance. When I think about silence power, yeah, then I can able to become embodiment of peace. And I can easily let go of my anger from my life. It's like that. Positive quality you think, that negative quality will automatically go.
be now meditating for a few minutes while Sister Bhavana is going to give us a drishti, we call it in Hindi. This looking at you with a lot of kindness, and she will be giving you good wishes to be strong, to be happy, and whatever the Raksha Bandhan message comes, be protected by God, meaning connected with God. So, and there will be a commentary in English. So please, you can either focus on our light, God of light, at the altar there, or you can focus on the third eye of Sister Bhavana.